Hello, it is another Thursday, which means another edition of Your Image. Last week we started a kind of review session looking back at 5 years of the program. The panelists are back in the studio this week to continue on where we stopped last week. First and to my left, it's Dr. Adeshola Adeosun, who is a teacher of communications. Shola, it's a pleasure to welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
And of course, flanked next to him is Mr. Dara Adebimpe. He's also one of those who conceptualized the program. Dara, it's a pleasure to welcome you.
Thank you. It's my privilege to be on
and
board.
last but not the least, it's the man that we can say is the driver of the program itself, Akin Okudero. It's not only a consummate populations practitioner, but he's also a former chairman of Nigerian Institute of Population of the state here. Akin, it's a pleasure to welcome you.
Thank you very much. We hope to be of service to humanity more than this.
Well, we will put everything in the hands of the Almighty, and then hopefully, since we've gone this far, we will not really desert you. But first, gentlemen, let's just quickly take a kind of look at the response people have been providing in terms of how they see the program. First, it's a reaction from Mr. Adegbenro Adebanjo, who is the Deputy Director in charge of Corporate Communications at Federal University of Technology, Akure. He has this to say, that it has enhanced the corporate capacity of organizations and helped them to improve feedback mechanisms, which has helped them to also build better corporate relationship with their various publics. That is from Adegbenro Adebanjo. Also from Mrs. Linda Onwuka, the head of public relations in Federal University of Agriculture in Abeokuta here, is that the program has been doing a wonderful job. From Lanre Rihemi, a one-time public relations manager at the Federal College of Education, Oshele. He says it's been 5 years of engaging and enduring public relations on television. I am really proud to be a part of it. Gentlemen, we've seen that almost there have been praises for this program left and right, and that's of course encouraging. But first, let's leave the encouraging as areas and start looking at those the areas that have been kind of challenging. Now, and I'm sure you have worn the shoes for the past 5 years. Let's look back and reflect a little bit. What would you say are the key challenges that the program has really faced in the last 5 years?
Actually, though we want to thank God and also thank the management of OGTV for providing this platform, we found out that the general public and even some of the professionals, they lack adequate knowledge on how the practice should go. And that is the first level that we really had to attend to, providing education, public relations education and enlightenment. And that has taken us that long. And that is why we have gone through a diverse and a prolonged process of engaging so many people, so many organizations, even non-governmental community people, even at the government level. We have engaged some people in a way to give them full information about what public relations is. So the great challenge now is how to move forward, and that moving forward has been crippled by the level of education. Of course, we will have advanced further if we had gotten the leverage. And when we are talking about the leverage, we are talking about people sponsoring this program, people advertising on this program, and then even people engaging us to do research on public relations issues, on image for a particular organization, and then even encouraging us to do more on corporate social responsibility, that is looking into communities, that is working with philanthropists and others to further enhance quality of living. And if that has been done, we will have been at the right place. So
well, I think
let me just quickly add.
It is good that you even are coming, because that's almost your own area. You have marketing experience, and it's virtually Akin is talking about some of the inadequacies of getting people to appreciate what it means and then plugging into the program itself.
I think quite apart from the apathy shown from people, I think we also need to go out to meet them as well. And that area has not been forthcoming or has not been as aggressive as we ought to. And largely, again, because of the climate that we are, the marketing climate is not encouraging. But be that as it may, I just want to say to our viewers, particularly those who are in the corporate world, the schools, the NGOs, political parties, religious organizations, this is a platform you can sell your image. This is a platform you can promote your brand. This is a platform that you can manage your business for the world to follow you. Because not several platforms are available today for one to project. It is not only dishing out information, but which of the areas can you use to get quickly to reach the public? Of course, I tell you, OGTV has that opportunity of reaching your audience so wide, because OGTV is even on DSTV now. And so it's a privilege for those who want to come on board to project their business, to sell their brand, to let people know what's the new thing they have at stake. And again, it's a privilege for this program to even train people on public relations.
I'm really curious about that, and since you have raised it, that apparently would bring Shola in. You are a teacher and a trainer, and we are talking about people having hands-on experience. How possible is it in a 25-minute program like this for people to acquire experience? Is it really possible?
I would say yes. Yes, in the sense that it's not really how far, how well. And that has to do with the fact that, one, you do have knowledge of the program itself. If they have the knowledge of the program, they will have that zeal that they want to listen. And in 25 minutes, if they actually listen with the intention that I want to acquire knowledge, I want to get something out of this program, definitely they will get something from it. But that notwithstanding, if we can still extend the program beyond 25 minutes, it will still.
I think that Dara is no longer here, because he will have been the appropriate person to take that up with the management. But again, it's like you said, it might not be the issue of the time of how the duration, but the quality of the program itself. And when you look at what we are saying, we are talking about image, which is a matter of quality issue. There is no quantity image. Image is always about quality. And you look at over the years, the kind of personalities that you have been. Would you say you are proud to have been the kind of, to have created a platform that have brought so different people, given different opportunities for this kind of exchange of ideas about critical issues affecting image, relationship, human behavior, corporate existence in Nigeria?
Let me say, without being immodest, what we have done is still a tip of the iceberg.
Okay.
Well, we have gotten intellectuals engaged in providing information and expertise, knowledge on this program. But now we are going to have a combination of strategies. Okay. Well, marketing aspect is one, but we're also going to, in fact, we have engaged ICT, but in this new dispensation, we're going to have a broader spread of and usage of ICT. Well, this program is on YouTube, Pr-Primus on YouTube, or Your Image on YouTube. You can search for it. It's on the website. You can search for it, Your Image, or Pr-Primus, www.Pr-Primus, whatever. It's on Facebook, it's on Instagram, and see, there's none of this edition that is not on the website, that is not on the Facebook. Even on OGTV website, it's always there. The moment you link up a Pr-Primus, you will see it on OGTV. go to their website, you can search. So what we are now trying to do is to enhance our engagement with corporate organizations, even with the informal sector. We want to do a new package in a way that we can help them to find new ways of doing business. We can help them in a way that the way they will now relate with the public and their customers will be different. We are even talking about NGOs. The NGOs should also come in now in a situation where they will be able to provide that service for which they were established. We have seen that most of the NGOs are not really helping humanity the way they were supposed to help humanity.
Well, some people may take you up on that.
No. We have found out that there are more problems in Nigeria.
Okay.
And if humanity must be helped, the downtrodden ones must be helped. Those people who lack education must be helped. Those people who have health issues must be helped. And the only way is by when we have proper engagement of public relations. You can be able to organize programs. You can be able to connect such NGOs with appropriate institutions so that this society can be better.
Thank you, Akin. Let's take a bit step away from looking at the commercial side of it. Quite often, there is always a discussion that there is disconnect between the leadership and then the led. There is always that a lot of times that there isn't healthy respect by the leadership for the citizenry. Do you begin to see breaking the wall when we have a kind of bringing together, connecting people and leadership with such opportunities of having a healthy conversation one-on-one on such a platform like this? Do you see any redefinition of what social contract will now mean between the people and the leaders?
Of course, there needs to have a change of orientation by the leaders and the led. Until we change our mentality that it is anything we give to the people that they will take, as if we are ordering them around, nothing will change.
Is that part of public relations?
It is,
okay.
Because public relations is not, you hold something in trust for the people. And once you are holding something in trust for the people, you must be seen to be coming to the open, being open-minded with what you are doing. You must have a character of integrity that people can place on you, that you are taking care of their interests. Until our leaders, get this understanding that they need to take people along with them, not just issuing order to them. This and this you must take. There has been a lot of crisis, mistrust, misgivings, even between the labor unions and the government in this country. Even those who are occupying leadership position in Nigeria, that once you get to public position, political public terrain, you have made it. Whereas the people are still saying, in fact, you will see their party when it comes to electoral time, when people are expected to vote. When you look at the population of those who are voting, you begin to wonder.
34% only voted in last election out of about 64 registered voters. That's less than.
There's this issue of mistrust about leadership.
That is something million votes.
You see, that's the problem we are seeing. And it is time our leaders got to a level of understanding that openness is what helps. Because there's no man that is an island on its own. It is only when you have people to govern that you can say you are leading. If you don't take them along, you just find out that you are alone.
Thank you, Dara. The amazing thing is when we look at both sides as practitioners and as well as managers who the practitioners must relate with, it simply means that there is lack of understanding of the rules that each of us has to play in a complementary way to the other one. And you as a teacher, and then this is a kind of a program here, how can we build strategies to now connect in such a way that we begin to understand each other. Those of us who are in public relations complaining that we are not being given the managerial position that we deserve, and also those who are the managers that are failing to understand that without us, it will be practically impossible for that corporate entity to really make progress and then achieve the corporate objectives they are set off. How do we break that barrier?
In the first place, there's a particular word that we are still using in this profession that means different things to those out there and us in the profession. One would say public relations officer. So, then when we say public relations officer, some will look at it as the role of a personal assistant, role of errand boy, role of a clerk, or whatever. But we should begin to look at it from this angle. If you are an image maker and you cannot manage the image, there's a problem. So I think we should begin to look at it from the angle of image manager, because it will take a lot for you to say you are making image when you cannot manage the image you are making. And until we come to a stage where we begin to see a complete PR person as image manager, who must have acquired series of experiences right from the time he wants to look at what kind of image am I going to make, how will I go about it, what are the processes and procedures am I going to follow, how will I arrive there, if I eventually arrive there, how will I maintain it, and how will I move from there to the next level, and how will I continue to do the right thing, doing it right today, tomorrow, until the kingdom comes. I think we need to address this area, and from there we begin to see ourselves as image makers, image managers. And with the issue of image managers, then we begin to occupy our right position in an organization where they will see PR as a department on its own, where such department will allow somebody to grow from a junior staff to a level where we will be saying director of public relations or corporate affairs manager, and so on and so forth. If you have been able to do this, then the perception we are given public relations will change, and from there we'll begin to see public relations holistically as a profession, as a practice that is revolved around every aspect of human life.
That every aspect of human life, which Shola ended with, of course, would dovetail to one salient point that you have made when you are making your contribution, and that has to do with the informal sector. And the informal sector perhaps is the strength of the Nigerian economy, and not less than 80% of the employment is generated at that informal sector level. And you talked about getting opportunities for them. You talked about building their capacity and strength. You talked about ways of creating new vistas for them to be understood by those who are making policy for them. But basically, that is an innovation. And when you look at a program like this, correct me if I'm wrong, the program looks elitist. How do you begin to now draw such people into the magnet? And what are the kind of innovations that actually you're really talking about if you must engage this sort of people?
Yeah, it is the elitist aspect of it that we want to take away and be more practical and be more proactive in the sense of creating culture of public relations in the minds of the people, in their processes, in their daily activities. So what we intend to do is to engage the group. By engaging the group, we will provide public relations education. Of course, in molding their business, there has to be some PR strategies that they must adopt. Besides that, we we work with them to leverage their business in the areas of governmental policies, in the areas of environmental issues, so that what used to be the main problem with them can be taken away. Then they can now focus on their business activities. So we want to see we want to find a way of creating an enabling environment for them to thrive. So if that has happened, you now see them operating in a normal business operative environment, and that engenders growth, progress, and success that I talked about the other time. So, and you see, if I have to refer back to the issue of success, it is an all-involving thing, in the sense that government, who professes to provide infrastructures and all things, must do it diligently. They must ensure that while organizing their budget, people are taken into consideration. I want to appreciate what the current government is trying to do in Ogun State by saying that the town hall meetings, their input must be part of what to
The budget.
what the budget process will be. So, if in actual fact people's input were taken into consideration, you will see that most of their problems will be solved. Because if a particular community or a particular group says we have a challenge of so and so, and government takes into consideration and provide that needy thing, then what are we talking about? But we have seen a deviation whereby a budget is prepared and something else are done.
Well, again, there may be administrative challenges here and there, complications that always arise from politics and the way politicians also manage issues. But there is something that is calling for attention, and that is the Nigerian public relations. And I use the word Nigerian public relations, not looking at it globally now, within the concept of our own environment here. We can't also be pointing fingers at other areas of life, at the economy, at the political space, and all of that, without also looking at ourselves and looking at Nigerian public relations now. Do we need to redefine the way we operate professionally, and the way we approach the discipline of public relations in this country? Do we need a redefinition of what we are, who we are, and what we do?
Of course, basically, just talking along the line of helping the informal sector that Akin was talking about the other time.
But that's what actually prompted.
And drawing it to what you have asked, I think majorly our problem has to do with two things: ethics and value. When you do things ethically, obviously people will want to see you as somebody that is trustworthy, as somebody that they can go along with, as somebody whose service they want to go for again and again. Say, for instance, look at the market people. A lot of them, when you look at the measurement they use for Gary, you see that they have charged it under. And it is unethical. There is nobody that will see such a thing that will want to come back to them and buy again. More so when the Nigerian government is saying they want to close its border and want to locally produce things now. And secondly, we need to see how we want to rejig our value, because down the lane our values have gone low.
The whole country has become almost morally decadent.
Yes.
Quickly, so, Shola, sorry, you still have one point? Okay, quickly, Shola, just more or less like a sandbag because of the time. Are you satisfied with the curriculum in which you are, and if you are not satisfied, which direction do you want us to look at now?
Thank you very much. I'm not really satisfied, because we were operating in dynamic environment, and whatever policy and whatever programs or curriculum we put in place today, there should be need for
re-evaluation and then see how to
so that we can see whether it's still in line with what is happening presently.
I think part of the re-evaluation is also
particularly
what,
on skill acquisition.
on schools.
Yes.
I think part of the re-evaluation is also what we are doing today, trying to go back to look at what have we done right, what have we done wrong. And I'm sure, gentlemen, you've already pinpointed some of the new areas that we really must go into, some of the challenges we must also look at. But gentlemen, I simply can end by saying congratulations to all of you. It is your program. You made it what you wanted it to be, and hopefully we'll continue to make progress and then drawing attention to the profession called public relations. Shola, thank you for coming. Adara, thank you for being here. And then the Mr. Producer, thank you for all the humans job you've been doing.
Thank you very much, sir. We look forward to proper engagement on how to move the nation forward.
Well, again, we simply cannot rest on our laurels, because the whole purpose of nation building requires every hand being on the deck. So here from this deck, we want to say thank you for being part of this program for the last 5 years. And again, we want to say Happy New Year as we begin New Year on the program. Thank you, and God bless you next week.